Hello everyone, Jak Syn here on behalf of Fiend.com and Future Daze, and today we're sitting with Jenn and Dave Bats of Release the Bats. How you two doing tonight?
Hi, how's it going?
Good to see you.
Cheers,
good to see you.
guys.
Cheers.
Cheers. Cheers to everybody out there. So good to see you guys again. How are you guys doing tonight?
Good.
We're doing well. Yeah, we're doing real well. We're not bored. We got stuff to
Well, speak for yourself.
do.
Well, I think right now it's like boredom does set in here and there. A lot of people are at home right now, but I think for the most part, people are making the most of it as best as they can be, considering the situation going on right now. I know that every day it's kind of crazy, especially, for a lot of the people who are out in the world, and for the people who are at home right now. Everybody's just kind of either climbing the walls or just can't wait to get home. So it's either polar opposites.
I'm stuck at home. I'm furloughed.
Oh, well, you know what? That will be over very soon. It will be over very soon. And I look forward to everything that's going to be coming very, very soon when everything gets back to normal.
Heck yeah.
So tonight we're going to ask you guys a couple of questions and see where it goes from here. You guys ready to do this?
Sure.
Ready.
Yeah, sure.
All right. That's what I like to hear. What are 3 of your favorite moments from Release the Bats over the years?
3 moments? Go ahead. Yeah,
Okay,
you go.
this one sticks in my head. There's way too many to really think of anything super specific because everything was so rad the whole time. But when Akasha got to go to the club for the first time, Akasha is our daughter who is now almost 28. And the whole time we were doing bats, she was, a little kid. So she would come and help us set up, and then she would stay home. So finally, when she was 21, she got to come to bats, and she did it right. She had a good time. And I found her at the end of the night next to the trash can in the girls' bathroom. So
Introductory offer.
So she did it just like she's supposed to.
Yeah.
Just like you would expect for your first bats moment. So for me, that was a proud mom moment.
That was great. She earned the I barfed at bats.
I barfed at bats pin.
She
did it
from the get-go.
So that was really cool. And my parents came too when Community FK played.
That's right,
cool.
2007.
Yeah.
That's right, 2007.
That was the first time they'd ever seen Dave perform. And my parents got shit-faced thanks to Luann serving adios motherfuckers to my father. That was great.
Yeah, if you've been to Release the Bats, you know what that drink is. You know who Luann is.
And you know what will happen.
And you know what happened. Yeah, definitely.
What have you got? Have you got a moment?
Well, top 3. There was 240 Release the Bats once a month for that long. 240 months in a row. We only missed 5.
Us personally.
Only missed 5.
It's still went on, but we weren't there.
So out of 235 of them, I couldn't even begin to tell you my top favorites. They're all my favorite. It was kind of like one of those things where they just get better and better. But certain times, like when Element played, the anniversaries, those are always spectacular. The first time I played with Community FK with Patrick at my own club, that was real cool. That was a moment that I couldn't believe. And just shit. There's a lot of funny standout moments. The time my car got smashed.
Yeah, when the body hit the car.
When the body hit the car.
It
was I bought a brand new Ford Focus in early 2000s, and I had the car for 4 days.
Was that car 2001?
Yeah, 2001. I had the car for 4 days, and I parked it out inside on 7th Street in front of the bar, where I always parked my little crappy Nissan for years and years. Anyway, I had the car 4 days, and these 2 punk rock guys who lived in a squat around the block ran over to the convenience store to grab some beer before 2 a.m. curfew. As they're running back across the street, a stolen car was a white Ford LTD, as according to 100 witnesses outside, came around the corner at 50 miles per hour, nailed one of the punks, and crushed him into my car, resulting in a gigantic ham-sized dent in my door, and my mirror came off. All this.
There was skin on the car. It was great.
It was disgusting. Oh my god.
It was a great thing.
And I came out of the club all pissed off and wanted to beat the guy up, but the fire department and police pulled me off him. Anyway, it was a really funny moment. But that stands out. It was the night that Deep End played, actually. Fatal and Jeremy Jeremy Gasly, they ran up to me and said, Dave, you better come outside and look at your car.
Yeah, they're like, have you seen?
And I
Did you
said,
see your car?
What?
And I'm like,
What are
the
you
hell
talking about? I thought they were kidding. No, they weren't.
It's our brand new car.
That sucked. But also, there was another time years and years ago. If anybody knows Long Beach well enough, there's a lot of gangsters. Yeah.
I have photo evidence of this.
So we had these guys come up on 7th Street, just some cool local guys, and from a local gang. So
this
we have
was October 2001.
Yeah, those are your local Crips from the area, friends of ours. I don't know their names anymore. That was a long time ago.
Don't know whose names.
Their names.
Well, we don't know their names, but it's Natalie and Doug and Sophia and Brandon. Oh my gosh, I think that's TJ too.
But the point of that is those guys.
That was really cool. Homies, LBC. Okay.
It doesn't get much more Long Beach.
Photo stuff. Like this was a real cool thing. Penis Flytrap was kind of like our house band for a while, other than Element playing.
Yeah, the first few years. Yeah, Penis Flytrap played.
They were new and fucking awesome, and this is one of my favorite photos of them. Look at them. Oh my god, I love them so much. This was June 1999.
As we dubbed, we actually, you know what we did?
1666.
1666. We were the only club in the whole wide world to flip it upside down
for the entire year.
every flyer said 1666. It was just something clever.
And then Anti-World from Oregon, Portland, Oregon, played, and was it a Ross night? No, it was September.
No.
So they played, and Jeton Damone joined them to sing figurative theater, right?
Oh yeah, a couple of old
pretty
tracks.
rad moment. One of my favorite times when weird shit happens that you don't expect. Jeton didn't know she was going to do that night.
No.
And it ended up being the classic.
She was just standing in the front watching these guys play these songs, and it was an amazing moment. And next thing you know,
and this motherfucker.
And that guy, look out for that guy right there.
He's trouble.
Dave Grave. That's the first Frankenstein show. The first Frankenstein show.
I don't think it is. 2001?
Yeah, when he did the makeup. Because he only did the makeup like once or twice. And that was it right there. That was when Frankenstein came along. Oh my God.
So those are 4 pictures. Imagine how many more I have.
Oh. Come on.
So anyway, that's good. That's a lot of good moments, right? Oh, there's another time too when the bathrooms
oh God.
got all clogged up, and the club had already started.
It was 11 o'clock, about 11 o'clock.
And it was almost going to have to be closed down, but then Roto-Rooter came to the rescue.
So nobody could use the bathroom for about an hour and a half, and then the Roto-Rooter guy shows up and is working. Anyhow, everybody had to use the bathroom. It was one of these moments where this guy is going to be the local hero. And anyway, he fixes the whole thing. The whole plumbing comes back on. All this great stuff. We don't have to close the club. He comes walking out, and everybody's applauding the guy. They're clapping him. People are hugging him. That's how bad they had to go to the bathroom. And they didn't want to go back in the alley. They didn't want to go in the alley. So anyhow, this Roto-Rooter guy was a real hero that night. So these are just funny moments that stand out. When you ask for the top 3, there's no possible way that we can answer that question. The top 3? How about the top 233? I couldn't even answer.
They're all tops to me.
Yeah. So many. Oh my God. From our perspective, shit. I want to hear other people's perspective. What are your top 3 moments at Release the Bats? In fact, you guys, when you see this interview, what are your top 3 moments at the club? Email that to us,
and we might put it in the Release the Bats
comments
book.
Or comments in the bottom, whatever you do here.
Yeah, we'll put it in the book.
Yeah, we're still working on the book. The book's still working, still in the works.
So those are some really great memories, some really great moments in time. Like, you're right, you cannot put 3 top moments together for that, because I know, from my experience going to Release the Bats for nearly 10 years, all the way up until it was final night. It was, there was a lot of things because, every month, you know what I mean, doing Release the Bats, and for, 20 years of Release the Bats, that is a long time. And there is so many great times. I remember one in particular I thought was a really, really great one, really, really great stage show for me that I really loved was the Haunted Garage, the Dookie Fly Swatter. That was amazing. Seeing like people get torn up on stage live. I mean, that was like holy shit, like that's some really great like theatrics.
I'll tell you some dirt about that. Okay, so that was Haunted Garage's cleanest show.
Yeah, it had to be.
Out of all the places in the world they could play, when they played Release the Bats, the owner and the manager said these words to me: Dave, these guys are not going to spit blood and guts and everything all over the que sera. Oh, crap. So I had to tell Dookie Fly Swatter, listen, you have to do a clean show. And apparently they had some experience doing cleaner shows where they can't make a big mess.
Dry.
That's it, exactly. Dry shows. That's what he called it. It's another dry show, as Dookie Fly Swatter put it. But they didn't mind. They just wanted to play it. They were honored to play the club, which is bitching, you know. But it was a dry show, as they put it. So it was actually the cleanest show they've played in a long time, and that's kind of cool, actually. It was less for me to clean up later on, because I always end up having to clean all that shit up. So.
But they have to mop when we first leave.
When Penis Flytrap used to play all the time, Penis Flytrap had this corn syrup blood that they would always have, you know, as the picture showed a moment ago. Every show they did this. Here, right here.
Blood.
Yeah, see, okay, right there, right? Now, that's all cool, right? Now, but imagine a lot of that all over the stage for a long time. For 40 minutes, they're doing this, basically. And so guess who gets to clean that up at the end of the night? Me.
You know, and that stage up there has had a lot of amazing moments happen on it, a lot of amazing things, and a lot of, I'm sure, a lot of fake blood on that stage for all those years.
Yeah.
And some of my favorite moments of Release the Bats over the years has been during the club, yes, but it's what's taken place after the club that's always been some of the greatest moments. And I know, like, the cleanup part and getting everybody out of the club at the end of the night, go home, you can't stay here, get the fuck out of here, all you guys, get out of here. Yeah, like, those are some of my greatest memories. Sticking around till the very end.
Yeah, dancing on the dance floor that was super sticky.
Yes, exactly, and having everybody rip down, you know, ripping off all the decorations and wrapping themselves up in the decorations, and
yeah,
you know.
Steve Skeletal. You owe us a Christmas light set
Christmas light
from years and years ago. Never forget that. I have pictures of it somewhere. You rolled around in the Christmas lights or outside all over 7th Street.
He rolled himself in the white fabric on the mirror, like all the way down the way, and took all the lights with him and everything, and then went outside.
Well, to Steve Skeletal out there, you owe Jen and Dave some lights and some decor.
Lights. Damn it. So yeah, it's unending amounts of awesomeness that took place. It really was.
Shit.
Really.
So to everybody out there, if you have any of your favorite moments, like 3 moments that you could post about, be sure to leave them in the comments section underneath this video. And tell us what some of your favorite moments are. We would love to hear it from you. How did you both meet, and what has your journey been like together?
We met when we were about 18 years old, around 1989, 1990. Helter Skelter. Helter Skelter.
Everything started at Helter Skelter.
Everything started at Helter Skelter.
Yeah.
We were friends for a long time, from 18 to whenever. And I was in a band with her husband, and we were all friends. And we just realized during that whole time that we were meant to be together.
And so we said, fuck off.
Piss off.
To the others, and got together.
Yeah, at about age 22, right? 22?
Yeah, I guess so.
About 22. And, well, it was 1990. Well, 1990.
3?
Yeah. Around 93, we ended up getting together.
September 1993.
Yeah. Yeah. It was yeah. And we moved from Hollywood to Long Beach in 94. Was that right? 94?
Or something. It was a long time ago.
And then,
but it all started at Helter Skelter. And then we ran around for a while just doing crazy stuff. He was in STG, and we did that for a while. And then we
Screaming
went,
to God.
and then we went raving for a while. We got old raver because
Well,
it's Shane.
in 96. But we moved to Long
Yeah.
Beach in 94.
Yeah.
We were going to the bar called Ferns for a while.
Yeah.
But then that band Sublime from Long Beach, I went to high school with one of those guys. Sublime recorded a video there for that song Date Rape. So immediately after that, Ferns became crappy with a bunch of like college kids. And so we ended up going to this bar called the Que Sera
Uh-oh.
on 7th Street.
Guess what happened next?
Yeah. So at the Que Sera, there was a goth club called Kiss of the Vampire. It was being run by Linda LeSabre, who was in Death Ride 69, an old band from way back, Helter Skelter band, essentially. And DJ Hothead, we started going there, made friends with them, and Que Sera came into play from that moment on.
Yeah, and the Kiss of Vampire DJs weren't really into goth, really. And the Que Sera was
Linda was and Hothead was,
but
it was the ones that opened the night. Jill and Maria opened the night.
They were. It was Que Sera was a lesbian bar. And
at the time.
At the time, yeah.
Melissa Etheridge was signed there. She got her
gold
first. Yeah, and her gold record was there for her first.
So anyway, we went to Kiss of the Vampire and we got to know the DJ chicks, and they didn't really know what to play a lot, so they would come over to our house and ask us what to play, and we would make them lists of songs to play at this goth club. Element played at Kiss the Vampire, and so did KMFK, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so a couple bands played there, and then it kind of went away. And they gave us all of their fabric and all of their shit.
Que Sera asked us.
Oh, yeah, we were already doing something there, an 80s night that Jeremy was doing. And then they said, hey, do you want to do a Halloween party? And we said,
yeah.
Okay. And you know the rest, right? So we got together at Helter Skelter.
Yeah, we were
and we ended up at the Que Sera.
Yeah, we've been friends since we were 18. Got together when we were 22 or 21, 22. And then we started doing a bunch of shit, and all of a sudden Release the Bats happened. There you go, bam. There's so much to fill in. There's so much of a huge gap right there.
There's lots of stuff in the middle.
All kinds of things to put. Oh my God.
Yeah, we went through some weird stuff when we first got together, but that's a whole other interview. That could be the interview about how we got together and what happened.
Yeah, that's
because there was the earthquake, there was court, there was all kinds of fun stuff. He got sued, I got sued. It was great.
Sounds like a really big adventure, and it sounds like a lot of great memories that a lot of people out there have been, witness to and have seen over the years. From knowing you guys, like me and Evie, knowing you guys, Evie knowing you guys a lot longer than I have, but, for me knowing you guys have always been some really awesome people, and we just love you guys to death. And there are a lot of other people out there who love you guys as well.
We miss everybody so much.
Oh, I know. Right now it's hard because, everybody's all spread out and everybody's distant and, but hey, well, at least we have this. We can talk on video and we can stay in communication that way. So this is a way for us to open up that world to everybody else, to know a little bit more about who Dave and Jenn Bats are.
There's so many great stories that, and these are the things we talk about when we're standing on the sidewalk in front of the bar at Que Sera, at a Bats night. Release the Bats ended in 2018, October 2018. But we've done things since then. And what happens is when we do these other nights, like an evening of the Cure or a Susie night or whatever we're doing at the Que Sera, we still do things at the Que Sera, or we're doing things at other locations. We get to tell these stories outside or in the smoking section, what have you, to people who are new to town or people who haven't been to the club many times. I mean, we went to 235 out of 240. Some people went to 2 or 3 of them. So they don't know all these really crazy stories. So it's hard to tell them all right now on internet. It's hard to do that. These are more like the types of things you talk about live. But there's just a lot of like in-depth little things that people don't know about. Like the VCR. There's a VCR at the Que Sera that has a VCR tape or a DVD. And it doesn't work all the time. It works intermittently. Now, if there's 200 people in the club that night, they don't know that I was fighting with that fucking thing for like 2 hours trying to get the fucking thing to work. and play this goddamn tape I made. If you don't know that, these are the little things that people, the little nuances of the club, or the fact that the cable that was a little bit loose. And Dave Grave is trying to play records on these turntables that we've been using since 1996. we were doing house music and like, you know, experimental techno shit back in 96 there. These are the same Technics 1200s. Well, the chords are a little loose now, and people are trying to dance, and Dave Grave is the vinyl guy. He only plays vinyl. Shane plays vinyl and CDs. Dave only plays vinyl. So Dave Graves up there, oh, this isn't working right. It's because the cable is 28 years old and it's not working right. These are the little things people don't know about. And these are the funny things I always wanted to share with people. And I get to once in a while when I talk to other promoters and other club people that have the same issues. You know too. You've done this
definitely,
shit.
You're definitely right. I do know that. You know that DVD player, that video/DVD player combo? Yes, it does. It has given a lot of problems over the years. But you know what? Hey, it's Old Faithful. Somehow it just keeps coming back. It just keeps working. I don't know how, but it does. But these are these little nuances that, you know, really make the whole experience like worth it for the people doing the events over the years. These little things that you share with everybody, that you share with the people outside the club and all that stuff, and they get to see these little tense moments. They really make for great stories. So thank you for that. What was the inspiration behind throwing the Release the Bats events?
The inspiration behind that, you know what it was? Me, Jen, and Jeremy from Ghastly Magazine, our old buddy Jeremy. We were going to the Quai Seurat for years and years at that point. Well, years and years, a couple of years at that point. And they had asked us, hey, it was a couple of months before October 1998, and they said, hey, you guys are all into the goth stuff and everything else. Do you want to throw a Halloween party for us? We always do a Halloween party every year. We want you guys to throw it for us. And we thought, hey.
Yeah.
It was Luann and Vince asked us to do it. We thought, you know, that'd be really cool. Let's do an old school death rock night. Because at that point, remember kids, in 1998, death rock was an obscure term. Goth was overplayed because of Marilyn Manson and everything else. So nobody wants to be goth. Everything was either cyber or EBM or EDM or whatever you want to call it at the time. The goth clubs and the death rock music was pushed to the back rooms of nightclubs. It was secondary to everything else. That was all that kind of thing.
Rave scene.
Right. V&V Nation was the top thing. Wolfsheim was the thing. All that kind of stuff was taken over. And that's fine. I love that stuff too. That's fine. But when they asked us to do their Halloween party, all three of us looked at it as an opportunity to go, wait a minute, you know what? Let's bring back death rock music as we knew it before, with guitar-driven music and DJs and records, you know, the whole thing. So we said, hell yeah, we'll do it. Let's do it. They had no clue what we were talking about.
But
we didn't seek out to do a thing. You know,
but our inspiration was Helter Skelter. You know, that's where we went, and that's where we grew up, and where we got the first taste of the death rock scene and how you do it and how it feels. And when we were in this kind of death rock slump during the early, when did we start?
Late 90s.
Yeah, mid-late 90s, we had to do something. And when that opportunity opened up at the Quai Seurat, we're like, this is what we want to do. We were having parties at our house all the time, and they were what we wanted to do, but on a bigger scale. We couldn't have 200 people at our house.
Right.
We could get 50, which was still too many. But we did it, and there were some fucking rad parties. So we're like, if we could do this in our house,
imagine what we could do.
Imagine what we could do at a club. And when the Quai Seurat opened up for us, it was, okay, we want to do like the idea that Mike and Bruce had. We want to have a club that people come to and feel comfortable, and nobody gives a shit about, you know, you don't have to be like super goth or super whatever. You just have to come and want to have a good time.
Like-minded people.
Yeah.
Having a like-minded fun time. With the same kind of format. One band, maybe two, but we only did one. One band and DJs. Because we never wanted to have, from the get-go, we never wanted to have a a band night where it's just a bunch of bands playing. We want to have one band. We decided early on. After the first one, we had Cinema Strange. And the funny part was about that was we had no band booked at all up until about 2 weeks before the club night, if I remember correctly. We had nobody. And the first flyer, if you look it up, it's on Facebook somewhere. It says a band we can't mention. And that was because we couldn't mention the band. We didn't have one. That's the funny part. We really didn't have one booked. We weren't sure who to book. And Cinema Strange, some kids that we knew from Ventura and Simi Valley from years before. So Cinema Strange played. And we decided to have the one band format from that moment on. Because when you're in a band, and this is how I feel. Me and Jeremy and Shane, we all decided this is a good idea, because when you're in a band and you're going to play a club and you have a band playing before you, or you're the opening act, you have to take all your stuff down. You have to take everything down. We don't want that to happen. So Release the Bats had a thing. One band, you load in at 8 o'clock, you sound check, you leave everything up. You leave it all there. You're the only band. The stage is yours, which is really intimidating for a lot of people. They're like, oh, fuck, what do I do now? Well, do whatever you want to do. I would decorate the backdrop. I put a disco ball up. I did some things with some lights. But the band, it's all yours. And that went on for 20 years. Sometimes we had a touring act, so it'd be 2 or 3 bands. Once in a great while.
We did that a couple times.
Yeah, 2 or 3 times.
And Release the Bats is a really DIY club. It's been a DIY for 20 years. I mean, it's amazing to see, you know, where you kind of put the spotlight on the bands, you put the spotlight on the DJs, the dance floor, the whole thing. But it wasn't, you know, that's the great part about it, is that it was just so DIY and so just like, hey, we're just going to throw this in there, we're going to throw that in there, we're just going to make it work. It's all about the music, it's all about the atmosphere, you know, and people just coming together, and the rest just kind of falls into place. And I guess is what you guys would say, it's hard drinking, foul mouth, in your face American Gothic. Am I right?
Yeah,
You're right.
check it out. There's the back of the old shirt right there from a couple of years ago. This was, we came out with this one. It was one of the runs from one of the anniversaries, probably about 10 years ago. We actually put the slogan on the back of a shirt. But then later we had the anniversary shirt with all the bands on it that your friend Javi Nunez, our friend in San Diego, made that one.
All the bands are listed on the back. That was hard to do.
And we brought back the original logo.
There's a lot.
From way back when. And it's actually all crackly. If you can actually see that up close, it's all crackly.
Because you copied it from the original T-shirt.
Yeah, it's actually a copy of the original T-shirt, a copy onto a shirt. So that's how crackly it looks.
See how crackly it
Yeah,
looks?
it's crackly. But yes, but you know, you can still get these. They're on eBay still to this day.
Well, not in this day, because I'm not going to the post office.
Yeah, you know, you can wait a while.
In a while.
I think that's amazing, though, that like over 20 years with Release the Bats and everything that's happened, that it really has stood the test of time. It is such a large part of the subculture, of the alternative scene. Everybody knows it worldwide. A lot of people talk about it all the time. So it's just amazing to see how much of an impact it's made over the years with everybody.
Tell us about it. We didn't know. Our whole plan was just to have a party so we could have a party.
Yeah. Do what we want to do.
We didn't know it would lead to, you know, Germany and Chicago and Mexico and
everywhere.
Wherever the hell else we've been. Like, we had no idea. We had no idea. It was just so we could have a party and not mess up our house, really.
And we probably, you know, we obviously thought, hey, it'd be kind of cool if this went global, but, you know, we didn't realize it would. But, you know, it did, because at the same time when Release the Bats started, 98, 99, 2000, right around that time, there was a death rock resurgence going on, not just in Long Beach, California, not just in Hollywood, but in Berlin, in London, and Netherlands, all kinds of places. There was a death rock resurgence, guitar-driven rock instead of the synthetic music that was happening at the time. So the internet was taken off too, 99, 2000. Everybody has a .com by that time. We all came together. All these people around the world, because of the internet, you know, if it had been the same way 10 years before. Well, 10 years before that, it was still going. But let's just say there's no internet. It wouldn't be the same. But we all came together because of the internet. The interweb brought us together. And WGT, and when we were young, and the Thiessen brothers, and everybody all together as a huge thing brought all these bands to Long Beach, California, 30 miles south of Hollywood.
Long Beach.
That's right. A little bar called the Que Sera. See all those bands?
And also, if it wasn't for the Que Sera being as awesome as it is, and the people that work there, and the venue as, you know, old and crazy as it is, it's perfect. Everything just fit together at the right time with the right people. And Luann and Bence and Lisa and everybody from the past 20 years of the Que Sera.
They let us do
but
whatever
Luann
we
and Bence have been like, you know, the staples there the whole time, and they have allowed us to do this and loved every minute of it.
Yeah.
So if it wasn't for them, obviously this wouldn't be the same.
No.
Who gets to stay in one venue for 20 years?
No, we lucked out. We really
that doesn't
lucked out.
happen.
Other promoter friends of ours have had nothing but shit luck with venues and bars kicking them out.
Yeah.
And the things not lasting. The Que Sera was a blessing to us, for lack of a better word. Those guys let us do whatever we want. We used a staple gun for years to put all that shit up
until
in there.
they told us no more staple gun.
And then we went to other means. But they've redone it a few times. Now they have a new lighting, and they have new sound system. It's amazing in there. Especially, it's funny because we killed the club about a year ago, a year and a half ago, and now they got all this rad shit in there. But it's okay. But when we do one-offs in there, it's still really, really great.
What it was supposed to be at the time.
At the time, it was fantastic, and it worked really well. But
love to the Que Sera.
Love the Que Sera. If it wasn't for the Que Sera, Bence, and Luann, we would be shit. We wouldn't be anything that we are today. We owe it all to this little dive bar in Long Beach. We owe it all to those guys right there. And they know it. They know it.
And to all y'all people that came there too.
Exactly right. You know, Que Sera is a diamond in the rough. It is a little gem in the heart of Long Beach. It really is. And for years, it has really given Release the Bats a home, and a lot of other events that have come through there. I mean, yes, there have been events that have happened and then they've come down, but Release the Bats really stood the test of time for 20 years. And you guys got to end it on your terms, not on anybody else's terms.
Yeah, they didn't want us to do that.
No, they had no intentions of us leaving at all. But, you know, come on, man.
They wanted us to stay and keep doing it, but, you know, 20 years is a nice number, and it felt like things were changing and it was time for something else to happen. And that has yet to come.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. We were kind of on a roll for a little bit. We had things going here and there. The Phantom show with Lethal Amounts at Monty Bar. That was the last thing we did. There was a bunch of little things like that. Really cool shows. We had more stuff on the horizon. I was supposed to do something next week, a month from now. It's all fucked up because coronavirus, but we're getting around it, and eventually it'll all come back to normal, and we'll start booking shit again. I really do miss making a flyer. It'd be cool.
Yeah, we're not sure what to do because October is kind of like around the corner, and we don't know what's going to happen yet.
We're supposed to go to New Orleans. I'm DJing.
And New York.
I'm DJing.
You know.
I'm DJing in New Orleans for the first time in my life.
On Halloween.
On Halloween.
Maybe.
For the what's it called? Endless Night Vampire Ball. Maybe.
And also Murder of Crows.
Murder of Crows in New York City. Oh my God, what's going to happen?
Everything's a giant maybe. So nobody's making flyers because nobody knows what to do. Or you make a flyer and you leave the date space
blank. Yeah. So right now it kind of blows. So.
But you know what? Sooner rather than later, as soon as everything gets into the new normal and we start, going back to the way things were or that we're going to be used to, I can't wait to see what comes next because I know it's going to be amazing.
I tell you what's nice. What actually has been really nice is the last couple of months that we've not been doing anything. We're able to really kind of reflect on stuff and think about things and kind of put in perspective what we've done and places we've gone, people we know, and shows we've done with other people, and and the shows I've been invited to do, and my promoter friends that have invited me to play gigs with them and DJ for their nights and open for the bands and whatnot. It's really cool, you know, when you're just going, the cycle's going and going and going. What's next? What's next? What's next? That was like Release the Bats from 99 to 98, 99 to 2018. It was always what's next? What's next? I was in a band. I was in 2 bands. I was doing the clubs. We had New Church in Glendale. My God, we had that for 2 years. All kinds of shit. So you get into a role of just a roll of shit that's going on all the time. But when you put the brakes on, like we've had for the last 60 days or so,
yeah.
since my birthday. Yeah, it's been my fucking
You
birthday.
know.
Yeah, yours too. It's been our birthday now for 2 months? Anyway, you get to put stuff in perspective and really think about it and go, damn, you know, we've been to some cool places and done some cool shit. Really have. It's amazing. You stop and think for a minute. Wow. You know?
Like this.
It is very true. You think, you stop, you think, you take it in. We are in the great pause right now. But as soon as we
great pause.
You just said
Oh, I
the
love
great
that.
new pin.
The great pause.
The great pause. As soon as we come out of the great pause, there you go, right there. As soon as you come out of the great pause,
I love it.
you know, things are going to start speeding up again. And then we, you know, that reflection time that we had, it really, even though how bad it is and everything that's bad that's happened, it's terrible. But we've also been given a gift to reevaluate everything in our lives, to reevaluate a lot of things that we've wanted to you know, reevaluate over time. So even though it's bad, we've been given a gift, and I am so grateful for a lot of the time that we've been given.
Yeah,
You're right.
You're absolutely right.
What lessons have you learned from these events over the years?
Oh, wow. Lessons.
How not to do things, how to do things, what appeals to certain people, and what pisses people off.
Yeah, but here's the thing.
I honestly can say that.
We're going to do what we want, and hopefully you're going to like it.
Yeah.
And that's kind of all we can do.
That's a given. We're still going to do what we want to do.
Yeah.
But it's trial and error. I can answer the question like this. Doing the club at the K Sarah in the same spot all those years, basically the same DJ booth, same friends, same drinks, same everything. You learn what people do. It's a lesson in psychology, and honestly, I can tell you, I learned how to DJ. I learned how to DJ at Release the Bats throughout these years. How to pull the strings like a marionette puppeteer. What does what? Certain songs can pull the party up. Certain songs bring it down. Certain things, lighting, a lot of red lights can bring a lot of I don't know, not violence, uneasy, edgy.
Isn't it like
edgy.
an aggro?
It's
color?
aggro, it's edgy. A lot of blue, it's cool. Ooh, it's cold. So throughout 20 years, and I'll be honest, folks, I was using all of you. If you're watching this, if you've been coming to this club all these years, you were a sociological experiment done by me to learn sociological behavior.
That's really why we did bats.
That was why we did.
Dave just wanted to do a sociological
That's all it
experiment.
is. I was going to be a psychologist when I grew up. I went to college to be a psychologist. I really did. I really did, honestly. And I didn't become one. I became a musician instead.
I didn't go to college. I went to Helter Skelter.
Damn it.
Haha, got you.
I was going to say that.
I beat you to it. It's my quote anyway.
It's your quote. I was going to be a psychologist. So what I've learned is as a DJ, certain things work certain ways, certain colors work certain ways. Flyers, the way the images look, the colors, the way they look on the flyer, it all matters. It's true. I learned that from the rave days with rave flyers, stuff like that, and all the way up to now. And, it's all about marketing, that type of thing. But
lessons learned. It's just living. That's all you can do. And hope for the best and hope everybody likes it. That's what I do. But I'm not a DJ. So I just want to dance. And I trust that whoever's going to play the music is going to be good at it.
She's been my biggest patient of my psychology classes this whole time. Honestly, I've been experimenting with her for 27 years now.
That's really what I'm here for.
I tested it all on her first, really, and then I present it to you guys.
You should see all my scars.
One of the greatest things that I've experienced at Release the Bats has been friendship. A lot of great friendship, and it really does feel like a family.
Dude,
You know?
dude, let me tell you something.
Dude.
Like pretty much everybody we know that is our family now is because of Release the Bats. Big time. I mean, it's created so many friendships, so many relationships. People have gotten married. People have had babies, all because of bats. That's fucking weird. Especially when you think for how long it's been going on, like how many things have happened.
We know people that have gotten together, got married, got divorced, met someone else, got married, and got divorced. All at Release the Bats. They weren't married there, but they met these people, divorced these people, and we're still friends with all four of them. It's really weird. It's kind of bizarre.
So yeah, friendships and like relationships of all kinds, and that's the best part of it.
Yeah.
And we can go back the whole entire time and say that we still speak to people that came to the first Bats.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty crazy.
Somebody once said to me that Release the Bats is the island of the misfit toys. It's the one place where people can go and they're not judged on their appearance, their stature, their whatever their
clothes,
issue, whatever their issue is.
Lack of makeup, whatever.
Right. We've had a lot of, I'm going to say, lack of a better term, a lot of wacko people that have come to the club, and people that were special in their certain way, and they ended up at Release the Bats for whatever reason, and they had something special about them that other people didn't understand, and they were able to come to the club and relate and
felt welcome,
and met Dave, me, or Jen outside or inside, and they felt welcome there. And we never judged people on their immediate appearance. A lot of people have come to the club who they felt they weren't welcome at other clubs, or they felt weird at other places. They didn't feel that they belonged there, and they ended up at our club. And you know what? They were welcome there, and they had a good time. And they met me, and they met her, and they met other people, and they had some drinks, and they had a great time. And what I'm trying to say is, we had a lot of people that came to the club that didn't feel special at other places, and they felt special at ours. And we hope that one day that we'll run to them again, and hope they had a good time at our place. And I know they did.
We will.
You know.
And you were one of those people, you know.
You're right. I was one of those people.
You were one of those people that you know, came into our family and then became part of the welcoming crew, you know, and people appreciated what you and Evie.
Look, people didn't go to Release the Bats because they didn't hear about it. They heard about this place. Everybody who went to that club heard about that place, and they went there because they felt they needed to go there, and they went there for a reason. And a lot of people didn't like it. Some people didn't like it. They left. They never came back again. But a lot of people kept coming back.
Fuck them.
You know, so you didn't end up at this. You didn't go to Release the Bats on happenstance. You went there on purpose. I think you ended up there. There's a reason this place existed, and I think it
drew you there.
Yeah, it's magical. I think that everybody that went there, most people that went there anyway.
And also, let me just say too, the DJs were pretty cool. So I'm not a DJ and I'm not in a band. I'm a hostess, I guess. Sean Templar told me that I was. I just thought that I was the one just drinking over there and saying hi to people. I didn't know I had a title until
that's what you're doing.
Until he brought me to Murder of Crows and called me a hostess. So I appreciate that because I didn't know. Yeah, I did the same thing I do. I didn't know I had a thing. But let me say, the DJ guys obviously have a whole thing. They kept everybody moving. play music that people haven't heard before. So Dave, and Shane, and all the guest DJs who have come through have been obviously, you know, if they're not playing good music, you don't care, right? You're going to be like, bye.
Right.
Or fuck this place or whatever. So, yay.
Yeah.
Yay.
Yeah, the DJs are a really big part of it. You know what I mean?
All
A really
those-
big part of the
all
community.
those people that came have always come to the club came for the music. All those other people who were, you know, a little bit weird for other places came to the club because of that music. They all loved Sisters and Roz and everything and all the stuff that we did. These people liked that music and they loved everything about it. And they came there and they became part of our crew. Even though they didn't feel welcome somewhere else, they were welcome in our club. And we had some incredible parties with some incredible people.
Yeah, and cool, like, okay, so a lot of red bands. How many bands did we say?
80?
80 something or something.
That's it.
But we've had a lot of cool guest DJs too from all over the world.
I can't even
pretty rad.
begin to tell you how many DJs we've had. 20, 30?
I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, wow. And they're all great. We wouldn't
But
have had
you
it
know,
if they weren't
Martin
good.
Olgoth.
He played two or three times.
Did Ralph Thiessen DJ?
Ralph played
Did
when
Tomas, or did he just come?
no, Ralph Thiessen. Ralph Thiessen played one of the nights Cinema Strange played.
Right.
Cinema Strange played the first one, and then they played like the
Yes.
9th one or something
Yeah.
a year later, and Ralph was there with him.
That's
Ralph
right.
Thiessen from Berlin.
Because he loved Cinema Strange.
That's right.
So what's next for you both in Release the Bats?
Well, maybe October will be our 22nd.
Anniversary.
Well,
Well, we don't call it anniversary.
We're calling them like
Reunion
reunions
party.
now because it's not really an anniversary because anniversaries are when you're
still
together a whole year, right?
Right.
So we're calling them reunion. So that would be, you know, the end of October. So this is a
It's
tentative
it's
right
booked. I mean, it's the 4th Friday in October of 2020.
now. This.
So it's a few months from now. It is booked. The real Release the Bats at the Quai Syrah, the 22nd reunion party or anniversary party.
Second reunion party?
The second reunion party, 22nd year of the club.
I don't know what we're supposed
That's
to call
happening
it
in October. But if maybe, you know, if we're still good to go. We had a bunch of stuff planned.
Yeah,
to be
then
honest.
there's, you know, Murder of Crows, you know, Release the Bats goes to New York, and then Release the Bats would go to New Orleans. Further than that, I would like to do something else with Danny at Lethal Amounts. I'd love to do another Release the Bats, like pure trash event with Danny. We were kind of talking about that in the before times.
Yeah, before times, right? Yeah.
So
we were talking to Jutan and all kinds of people talking about doing a lot of things, and it's all kind of on hold right now. Everything's on hold.
it's kind of like we don't really know.
Yeah.
Whatever happens, happens, and it's gonna happen. We just kind of don't know when. But when it does, it's gonna be fucking crazy, I think. Because
You're damn right it's going to be crazy. It's going to be freaking amazing. And you know what I am super excited about? That Release the Bats book you guys are working on.
We're working on it.
We
need a little bit of participation from our Release the Bats patrons, though. We need some stories. We want to include other people's shit. Like, it's not about us. It's about the people who came. Like, we know what we experienced.
Right.
But we want to add in other people's stories. So we've gotten a few things here and there, but we really want you guys to tell us your stories, your favorite moments, the favorite band you saw. If, like we were talking about earlier, if you got married, if you met somebody that, you know, changed your life, whatever. All these things need to be part of it because that's
think about
part of it.
You got ready. You drove or took an Uber to the Long Beach, to the Quai Syrah. You went inside. You danced. You had a great time. What happened on those nights? There's a lot of crazy stories. You've heard ours. We've been talking about it for years on different things. But what are yours? I'm sure there are a lot of crazy stories out there, and I want to hear them.
So that's the whole plan for the book. We have all the other shit. We need you.
So everybody out there, take these in right now. Take this information in right now. Dave and Jenn Batts need your stories.
Do you want to be part of Release the Bats history? Do it.
Exactly. If you want to be part of Release the Bats history, you do it. Do it. Contact them. Give them your stories.
All you have to do is write it down.
Exactly. Exactly.
Or a picture with maybe a little story.
Ooh, pictures. Yeah, we want pictures.
We have a bunch of really great napkin art from Dave Grave.
Oh, man.
Like, so many. I didn't realize that we had so many. Look at it. It's like a whole bag full of bar napkins. Look at how many.
Dude, we would be like 4 pages alone of napkin art. This is when
Yeah, this is a good one.
the Que Sera moved the CD players from the top shelf to the bottom, and Dave Grave couldn't handle it.
Okay, this is just one example, and this is all we're going to show because the rest has to be in the book. There.
That is a great drawing from Sir Proops-a-Lot from Dave Grave. To you, Dave Grave, out there. Amazing napkin art.
One example of the napkin art from Dave Grave that'll be featured in the Release the Bats
So we have
book.
that. We have every flyer. We have just so much shit.
Yeah. No.
But we just need a
publisher and someone who wants to back it, and we'll be all good.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. There you go, everybody. You heard it right there from Jenn and Dave Batts. It's going to be amazing. That Release the Bats book. Send in your stories, write them down, send pictures in, because they want to fill it with all your wonderful memories.
Yeah.
Again, I have a story, and I'm going to share it with you guys soon. I'll share it with you guys, but you know, I got plenty more. So to everybody out there, thank you for tuning in tonight and watching us have this conversation. Big thank you to Jenn and Dave Batts for taking the time to sit down and talk and share their memories. I look forward to all the great and wonderful things that are going to be coming soon from Release the Bats into the future. And till next time, guys, thank you so much.
Thank you. Love you.
To everybody out there, if you like this video, be sure to like and subscribe to the Fiend YouTube channel, as many more awesome videos are on the way. Thanks again, Jenn and Dave Batts. I look forward to the next time.
Yeah.